What am I going to play today? So many choices. I don't feel like Nintendo today. And I'm not really so sure I feel like Genesis either. Well, there's always Super Nintendo. There's always something in the Super Nintendo pile that I like. And actually, all the way back here, I spy a game I think I might want to play. Oh yeah. This is a classic right here. Yes, yes, yes indeed. Space Megaforce. Just an overhead shooter where you get to destroy all kinds of shit and get crazy weapon upgrades. Yes, yes, this is what I'm going to play. Alright. Okay. Let's get this in the trusty Super Nintendo and power it on. Yes, it even tells you that you're playing Space Megaforce. That just rules. Alright, and let's see here. What seems to be the problem here? Well, this is frustrating. It looks like my freaking controller isn't working. I want to play Space Megaforce. That's annoying. Things you will need to clean your controllers. Small Phillips head screwdriver. Old toothbrush that you hopefully don't use for your teeth anymore. Pile of Q-tips. If you can help it, 91% isopropyl alcohol. Before you haters say anything, Brasso, be sure to watch the entire video, find out why I use it and what I do to counteract the effects that could be bad, which probably aren't. And a dirty ass rag. That's all you need. So let's take this controller apart and see what the problem is. Okay, so obviously the first step of this is going to be to remove all of the screws that are in the Super Nintendo controller. There's 5 of them. They're, again, Phillips head. And this is easy. If you don't know how to do this, lefty loosen, righty tighty. Hopefully you know how to unscrew screws. Otherwise you probably shouldn't be doing this. Okay, and let's remove the screws. Now, if I remember correctly, the best way to go about this on a Super Nintendo controller is to go from the back, because otherwise all the buttons will fall out. So let's see if I'm right. Yes, I am right. So go through the back. There's that, and wow, you can see an immediate problem. Unforeseen problem. Apparently this board is cracked. So that's awesome. Yeah, okay. Well, this board is actually completely cracked. So this is not a cleaning problem. However, this gives me an idea. This video is not completely screwed. Hold on one second. Okay, as I said, this video may not be screwed. Actually, unexpected, but there is a bright side to this. And that is the fact that I have another screwed up Super Nintendo controller. This one is just crusty as hell. The screws are rusted. Somebody had obviously gotten this one before with too big of a screwdriver. Something's rattling in there, and I had already previously marked this one with tape, so I know for a fact it's not a good one. So here's the thing. The buttons on this one appear to be okay. They're springy and everything. I'm wondering if maybe the board can be switched. Maybe the good parts from this can be switched with the good parts from that. So let's find out what's wrong with this controller. Open it up, and maybe we can just switch everything, because the case to this one looks good, and the case to this one looks terrible. The board to this one's cracked, but who knows? More than likely the board to this isn't cracked either, unless somebody threw this in anger as well. That's what I'm assuming happened to the first one. Oh, and there's not even a screw in that hole, so classy. Alright. I'll even replace the screws too if this works out. Alright, so... Okay, no obvious trauma, but it is dirty as hell. So I don't know if you guys can see that. I will focus it for you. But yeah, it looks pretty dirty, pretty crusty. But crust is what I was actually hoping for on the first one. You know, just trying to clean it. So, okay. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. The cord just kind of lifts out. And then these buttons just kind of slide out. And this whole board comes out. Oh yeah, this thing is so dirty. Oh wow, this is... Holy crap. Okay, as you can see, where the start, select, and all the buttons are, they are black. I mean, they are black. Let me see if I can show you what the other ones look like, because I'm sure they look fairly normal. I don't know for sure, but judging by the inside, it's actually clean. It's just got a broken board. And, oh, I guess the start and select are supposed to be black, but not as black as those ones are. And yeah, these are way cleaner. So, alright, this might actually work. Let's find out. Okay, so now we have a board that is very dirty. And we have all these pieces that have buttons. You want to be careful with these bumper buttons, because how these are held on, let me focus again for you. These are held on with two little clips, or two little rods that just sit in there. And then these go right there on the inside of the carriage, and then this little button just slides right out and slides back in, and that's what actually springs back and forth. So we're just going to take all these parts apart, and remember that those buttons go up towards the bumper. The nipple goes towards the bumper. And there's another little rod. Don't want to lose those. And then these parts are the parts that you really want to clean. These are disgusting. They're gross. You probably can't even see that. Really hard for me to do this because I can't really see what I'm doing. But yeah, these are gross. And there's the direction pad. And oh yeah, this thing is dirty as hell. And all the buttons, they are just gross. So yeah, I'm going to clean all these up. These plastic parts I actually like to just take to the sink and clean, so I'll probably do that off camera. But all these rubber parts, like the start buttons, these I clean with alcohol. And actually, you know what? I might just take the buttons off the other ones. Let's find out how everything works out. Okay, now we are left with a very dirty board. Some buttons that need to be cleaned, some buttons that need to be tossed. Okay, now we are left with one dirty board, the nice case, the nice buttons, all the nice innards, and the first thing I'm going to do here is clean this board, and I use Brasso. Now, a lot of people don't like Brasso. Why don't people like Brasso? Well, apparently because this product contains ammonia, and ammonia can eat through the copper that is on circuit boards, or the brass that's on boards. Obviously, it's brass. But the thing is not if you remove it all the way and properly. I use this only for the actual cleaning and scrubbing. Afterwards, all of the Brasso gets completely removed and then re-alcoholed again to make sure there is no residue. So when you are using it this way, it is not dangerous at all. You don't want to leave Brasso on circuit boards from what I understand. However, as long as you clean them very well, and especially my method, really clean them again with alcohol like very well, you're not going to have any problems. So yes, Brasso. I'm going to shake this crap up. And I find that the squirt feature really sucks, so I just open it, grab my Q-tip and dip it in. And then anywhere that there's a connection point here, I will show you. I just kind of coat each area. I know people are probably going to get mad at me for double dipping, but this is literally all I use this for is my controllers. So I kind of spread it around, leave it on there, and all the dirty spots where all the connections go, where all the buttons are going to actually fire. And then you don't want to forget up here, because these are the bumper buttons. You don't want to forget about the left and right button at all. But you got to be careful with these. As you can see, they're not like soldered on or anything. They are just wired on and kind of clipped there. So, all right, so just kind of let it sit there for a little while, maybe a few seconds, and it'll start eating away all that crap, and you'll see this Q-tip will turn black in no time. Just by applying it, it's already getting dirty. And then, now that it's been sitting for a little bit, I will actually start to scrub with the Q-tip. Just want to scrub that in really good. You can almost feel the grit underneath it. It is so dirty. But, yeah. This Q-tip is turning black. The weird thing is kids from the 90s, or any time after that, seem to have this obsession with spilling crap near their controllers or on their controllers, and you end up with all this Pepsi and Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew goop, and yeah. It's not good for your boards. Now, you gotta be careful if you get it in the solder, just get all the fibers out of there. No big deal. Okay, now I'm starting to kind of wipe it up because it looks like they're fairly clean. Let's get another Q-tip and do these right and left bumpers. Again, making sure not to apply too much pressure because you don't want to snap these off. Okay, so now that I've gotten most of the goop off, most of the black off, this is the part where I clean the board really good with rubbing alcohol. And come to think of it, this is a brand new bottle of alcohol, so I'm going to break this seal. Didn't think about that before the video. Everywhere you had Prasso, clean the crap out of it. You're not going to damage the board by getting it wet with alcohol. Just make sure it's dry before you go and fire it up. But yeah, that's about it right there. Okay, now I get extra careful when I take the cleanest part of my towel. There's not that many clean parts of my towel. But take a fairly clean part. I generally use the edges for Brasso and the middle parts of my towel for alcohol. That way I don't mix them. But then I do it one more time. Just make sure you're getting all that Brasso off. Alright. That looks pretty good. Nice and clean. Right and left buttons are clean too. Alright, so now we've got a clean board and a bunch of dirty parts. And what I'm going to go do is take these into the sink and just wash this with regular ass soap and hot water. And then when I'm done, you want to make sure they're totally, completely dry. This is where the toothbrush comes in handy. I'm not going to show you washing them in the sink. You guys know how to wash things in sink. Use very hot water, use dish soap, and use one of these. So I will be right back with the parts that are clean. Okay, so there we go. All the parts are clean. All I did was fill up my sink with hot water, a lot of dish soap, let them soak for probably 5 minutes. And the one thing I do want to point out is these rubber pieces, the ones that actually, push the button. These pieces become a little more fragile when they're hot. Under that hot water, they become very, very easy to move and bend and rip. So be very careful of that. But yeah, toothbrush, light pressure, and lots and lots of really hot water gets these things pretty much new looking. So let's go ahead and, reposition the camera a little bit. Let's go ahead and put this back together and see if it works. Now, there are certain ways things go in. First of all, the X and the Y buttons are the light purple buttons. If you weren't paying attention before, you could always look online on Google if you forgot where they came from. But light purple are X and Y, and dark purple are A and B. Don't forget you have these little pins, and there are little notches in some of these so they go in the right spot. Oh, and look, there's even a little guide right here. That's pretty cool. The purple buttons, the 2 purple buttons. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you that. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it actually says purple on the bottom and it points to these buttons. It says lavender over here and points to these buttons. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of information on the inside that tells you where things go as far as wiring and buttons, so that's pretty neat. And then this one, same thing. This one's got a little hole in it, and this goes in this notch in the corner. That way it's facing the right direction and everything. I think it goes in that notch. Now I'm actually questioning it. Yep, that's the only one that seems to work. That actually doesn't make sense because it's not up and down. Weird. Maybe it's this notch down here. Ah, there it is. Okay, it goes like that in the bottom notch. That one deceived me. I think that is actually where the buttons, the right and left buttons, clip on. Okay, glad I figured that out on camera and didn't have to actually stop what I was doing. Okay, so now looking at the other side of the controller, we've got our left bumper over here, and we're just going to throw these. Let me refocus, make sure you guys can see. Scoot this over a little bit. And these pins just slide right in here. And right in there. And then your bumper buttons, they just go right there. Make sure they're inside the case. Alright, that's it. That's your entire configuration. Now you just need to get the board in there without messing everything up. So, let's make it so. And as you can see, there are holes in the board right here and right here for you to line up where they go right here and right here. Bam. That's all there is to it. Okay, and then you just need to get the rest of it on, and that's it. Screw it back together, and then we'll test it out. And you don't want to over tighten these because it is plastic on plastic. You will strip it out. You will break your controllers. just don't do it. Just tighten them fairly tight and don't wrench on them really hard. Okay, so there we go. This controller looks freaking brand new now, so I'm going to set this right here. I'm going to plug it into the system, take this camera off the tripod, and show you if it works. Alright, let's fire this up. Got Space Megaforce. Okay. Hard to move, but yep, up and down works. And let's press start. And yes. Yes, yes, yes. Can't play with one hand, but yes, everything appears to work. And this is really hard to do, but we are in good shape. So yes, awesome. There's a fixed Super Nintendo controller for you guys. That's all you have to do. Yeah, even with a broken board, if you have another one in crusty shape, you can switch them out. Sorry that I ended up with that broken board, but yeah, that sucks. Kind of unexpected, but man, look at how dirty these parts were in the other one, yet this is the functioning one. You can see why it was not working. The parts are so gross, they can't even make a contact. These buttons are just disgusting. This looks like maybe one of the controllers I might have gotten in Mexico, so yeah, these parts are disgusting. There's not much. I'm probably going to clean up the parts, keep the parts around, just in case I ever end up with something like that again. But yeah, the one thing I noticed on this case, though, was that this hole right here, like somebody wrenched on it with too big of a screwdriver, so this case is pretty shot, but I'm going to keep the parts around just in case, just ditch the board. But yeah, that's it. And again, you can use Brasso. Don't be afraid to use Brasso. It is the best thing for boards and for anything brass. Your board's connections are made of brass, so that's what it's used for. However, you do want to clean it off all the way and then use that 91% isopropyl alcohol, highest percent you can find. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So really cool. And if you did like the episode, go ahead and give a thumbs up. And if you want to see more episodes, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's down there, it's red, and it says subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and keep rocking the retro games.